Really a whore. Like I'm a like with a W. Like I'm a whore.
But define that though.
Like I'm a whore.
What if Summer comes to you as pretty as she is and says, "Mom, I want to be a city girl"?
She ain't gonna be no city girl.
So Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl?
No. I want her raised totally different. Like, you know, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like I really want her to just be like, you know, like level-headed, a schoolgirl, and just on a whole nother wave. Like, you know, I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, you know, I'm a city girl, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
What? Oh yeah, we're gonna dissect this. Cue my intro.
Oh, Mr. Tyrone. I just gotta get freaky for you because you love the hoes.
I don't care if they don't like me. I came here to stunt. Yeah. I don't care if they don't.
Basically, she has a daughter, and she basically does not want her daughter to live the lifestyle of a 304 or a hot girl or a city girl or a hoochie mama or a Becky out here giving sloppies and getting ran through by the football team. You feel me? In this interview that she's having, she basically says like she's a 304 or that she lives a promiscuous lifestyle, but she can't dare to fathom her daughter living the same lifestyle that she's living, or even to more so advertise or promote or recommend or even raise her to live that type of lifestyle, right? And the interviewer asked her, well, what if your daughter wants to be that way? And she just can't fathom to accept that possibly her daughter may want to follow in her footsteps. Yeah. Now, I came across Mr. Let Go on my page today. Shout out to Mr. Let Go. Y'all follow him on Instagram and YouTube. He has some things to say concerning the matters of Miss JT. Let's take a look at this.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
Parenting 101. I have 2 daughters. You cannot turn around and tell your daughters to not do something when you're over here doing the thing.
I'm a whore.
That's not how it works. They're going to see what you do and mimic you. So when you run around saying,
I'm a whore.
she's going to say, Mommy, I want to be a whore too.
I'm a whore.
You don't think your daughter has a problematic upbringing when her mom is a...
I'm a whore.
This is exactly why I talk shit about single motherhood.
I'm a whore.
Y'all are ruining these children. Where is this child's daddy?
I'm a whore.
Now, we're going to deal with this from 2 different perspectives. We're going to deal with it from the general masses of the perspectives in terms of agreeing with her and the general perspective of disagreeing with her, right? Now, when it comes to how she wants to raise her daughter, she may personally not want her daughter to be raised up in the same way that she was. She also mentions how her upbringing and the things that she has experienced is through her process and her journey to where she is now is why she is a 304. It's why that she's so promiscuous, and that because she's given her daughter a better lifestyle or given her a better life and upbringing, that she doesn't want her to go through the same type of trauma or journey that she has went through as a harlot. Now, I'm a big WWE wrestling fan, and I have heard wrestlers tell people in interviews that they don't want their children to basically follow them in their footsteps to being wrestlers because they have had friends. They have had close acquainted co-workers who have died in the ring, who have risked their life, who are, you know, health problems and et cetera, because of things that go on in the ring. And that just because they had the passion to be a wrestler and they love wrestling and this is how they make ends meet, does not mean that they necessarily want their children to follow in their footsteps. That is something I can respect. So when a wrestler or an athlete or somebody of another occupation say that they don't want their children to follow them in their footsteps respectfully, we don't look at it any type of way. But when it comes to somebody who is promoting something promiscuous, when it comes to something that we may deem to be deviant, all of a sudden they're a hypocrite. All of a sudden they get shunned and they look down upon. That's ridiculous. It should be seen the same way as anybody else who says it according to their occupation. On the other hand, when you have somebody like Mr. Let Go or somebody who disagrees with what Miss JT said, you have to take into consideration that your daughter may want to be like you. Also in wrestling, you have second, third, fourth, fifth generational wrestlers. If it's a inspiration, if it's something that's what we call in their blood to do these type of things, you can't take that away from them. Randy Orton is a third generation superstar. The Rock, I think, is a third generation superstar. You see what I'm saying? So when it's in your blood and when you have that motivation and inspiration to do what you want to do, that you see the people around you do, you can't help but want to infiltrate yourself into it. You can't help but want to associate yourself with it. So the same thing with Miss JT, you have to take into consideration that your daughter might be out here popping when she gets of age. You have to take into consideration that the lifestyle and the way that you live in this world, the way that you live on a 24/7 and what you promote in your music, what you promote and endorse on your platform, you can't help but to think, to understand, and to realize that your daughter might be the next Sukihana. Your daughter might be out here being the next Tiana Trump. These are things that you just have to accept, right? And I talked about this in one of my other podcast episodes when we're dealing with this, like from the men perspective. It's like some men fear having a daughter. I don't truly understand it whatsoever, but that's just me. But you have men out here who truly fear. I'm talking about they have anxiety the moment that they find out they're having a baby girl because of all the things that woman, that girl will experience in life. The temptation of men, the temptation of living promiscuous, the temptation of going on the pole, the temptation of men trying to take advantage of her, the temptation of her becoming a baby mama, whatever the case is, right? These men have a nauseating feeling within them when it comes to having a baby girl. I don't truly understand it because if you raise your daughter up right, she will follow. You see what I'm saying? Most of these women that y'all claim are dysfunctional and are out here just popping it for anybody never had a good relationship with their father or mother or both. If you do what you're supposed to do in the household, if you raise her the way that you're supposed to raise her, not enforcing anything on her, not restricting her to the point where she can't be herself, but learning, teaching her, valuing her, putting values in her, letting her know how much she's appreciated, raising up her self-esteem to where she don't have to look for validation from other men. She don't have to look for validation on social media. She don't have to look for validation by popping it open for the 1, 2, 3. But you scared. Why? There's no reason to be. That's just me though. But y'all let me know how y'all personally feel about this respectfully in the comments below. I want to know how you feel about the concern. Want to know how you feel about concerning the basis of this video. Make sure you like the video. Check out the videos at the end of this video. And until next time, yeah.